Gosh, you know it's a good cover when the only critique I can really give it is that I wish it was longer. Hey y'all, I'm Jay. I'm a singing and songwriting teacher, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Angelina Jordan's cover of Suspicious Minds, originally by Elvis. Let's get into it. Is this the same place from the My Funny Valentine video? Hmm. It's already really different from the original.
Oh, little love survive.
Jesus.
I dry the tears from your eyes. Just don't let a good thing die. Well, honey, you know I've never lied to you.
So immediately we get a completely different vibe here. In the original, the opening instrumental is kind of this mid-tempo to fast, like guitar riff. And here we have kind of this interesting piano line that goes kind of down and then up in this like weird cyclical nature. And if you're familiar with the song and the concept of this song, I think that that matches perfectly well. It's kind of about this relationship that just has a bunch of issues that keep kind of reoccurring, and it's a cycle that just never seems to really end. So I really like that choice with the piano there. And also, just we're immediately hit with the richness of her voice here. I wonder if Angelina also grew up listening to a little bit of Anita Baker, because I could see a connection there. Very like rich, deep voice as well.
We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby.
So, if I'm being honest, just like truth be told, this is not my favorite Elvis song. And the reason why is mostly because I never really believed that, he could pull off this character. Meaning that I just don't find that the person that he's speaking to would actually believe what he's saying. They seem like they would have every right in the world to kind of be suspicious of him. Because I mean, he's Elvis. He was the biggest rock star in on the planet at the time. So I just never really believed the sincerity with it. But with this particular version, because it's Angelina, I do. And I think it's interesting that she starts us off with the bridge section of this song where the main character, or like the singer she's portraying, starts off by comforting the person that she's talking to. So immediately that makes her even more sympathetic to us. So I think that that was a very interesting choice there. I don't know that I've seen somebody do a cover before where they take the bridge of a song and start us off there. But in this case, I think that that was a pretty smart choice on her end.
Why can't you see what you're doing to me? When you don't believe a word I say.
Yes, Ref.
We can go on together with suspicious minds.
So in the initial hook of the chorus, she keeps a little bit of that rasp that Elvis has in there. But what I really like and find interesting is that she backs off a little bit on the word suspicious. She gives us like more of a thin fold or like a head mixy kind of sound there. And I think that really adds a lot to that word.
And we can't build our dreams on suspicious minds.
And on that particular go round of Suspicious, she almost whispers it, which I think is really, really creative. And then she gives us this really beautiful riff on the word minds. Come to think of it, a song that I would really, really love to hear Angelina cover is Beautiful by Christina Aguilera, or just really any Christina song at this point. Because I'm telling y'all, I hear it, I feel it. I know that's somebody she listened to like learn how to riff from. I can tell.
If an old friend I know stops by to say hello, would I still see suspicion in your eyes?
Now that I think about it, the way that this song is arranged makes me think of like how Lana Del Rey would arrange this song. Obviously, the vocal would be really, really different, but I feel like it would be this very like stripped back version of it with mostly just piano and the voice, like a really thick, rich voice that's really warm in the center, and maybe like one or two other instruments.
Here we go again, asking where I've been. You can see the tears are real, I'm crying. Oh, yeah.
So here in this part of the song, we get a riff from the guitar that's a little bit similar to what we hear in the original version. Now I think that we've picked up the intensity a little bit with that guitar line is kind of what that's telling us from a musical sense. And we also get a really cool riff on the word yeah that sounds a little bit like a riff in the style that Ariana Grande might do.
We can go
Okay.
on
Yes.
together with suspicious minds, and we can build our dreams on suspicious minds. Oh, little lost of I dry the tears from your eyes.
So here we actually come back to the bridge section in a more of a head mix kind of place, I would say, in terms of like register quality, the sound quality that she's giving us here. And I like the choice of still keeping the bridge in there because this song, again, is about this kind of relationship that is just going through a cycle of just the same issue over and over again. So, with Angelina's version, because she started on the bridge and she's kind of taking us out on that, it feels like the song has kind of come full circle in a way. And I think that that's really interesting and cool.
Don't let a good thing die. When, honey, you know I've never lied to you. Oh, yeah.
So I think that her singing the bridge one last time in a more like head mixy place that usually comes across as more vulnerable to us as the audience gives us like a more sincere feeling that this situation actually has either ended or has healed. It's kind of a little bit ambiguous to me, whereas with the original, I felt like the toxic cycle is kind of going to continue in a way. But it's nice to kind of feel this breath of it being over from her version. I really appreciate that. Oh. Gosh, it's a good cover when the only critique I can really give it is that I wish it was longer. That was so excellent. That was so beautiful. Wow. All right, so that was Angelina Jordan's beautiful version of Suspicious Minds. And I wasn't sure what to expect really, but I was very pleased with all of the changes that she made, particularly because I think that it serves the character or person we're listening to in the context of this song. I think that it makes them seem a lot more likable and relatable. I just had an easier time believing what it is that she was saying to this other person. Again, with Elvis, I'm like, they would have had every right to be suspicious of him, and I think they would have been right for doing so. So that's a little bit of a tough sell for me there. Another thing that I noticed was that Angelina did a really good job here of capturing Elvis's tone in a really, really subtle way.
We can go on together. We can go on together with suspicious minds.
If you go back and listen to it, you'll notice that she's not doing like a whole lot of like very like spread bright vowels here like she does sometimes, especially in the jazz stuff, which is where like the Amy Winehouse comparisons come in for her. I didn't really feel that in this song at all. Like in general, I don't really see that comparison. I think that's a stretch when people say that. But with this one, I didn't see that at all, like even a little bit. She was very, very careful to keep her tone in kind of like a very round and dark position with like very, very clear diction as well. There's some times where she will slur her words a little bit kind of on purpose. I think it's an artistic choice for her. But here we understood everything clearly. And I think that it's because in this kind of era of music, like early 60s, 50s, they were really, really careful about that. They preferred like warmer tones in general, warmer voices, and really, really clear diction. I actually was getting kind of like Patsy Cline vibes from this performance as well. Like that kind of era of country female singer or like Americana kind of singer as well, which is very, very true to, very similar to this kind of style back then, I think. I'm very curious as to why she decided to cover this actual song. If any of you know, let me know down in the comments below. But it seems like an interesting choice for her to want to cover out of like all the other Elvis songs that I could think of. But I'm really glad that she did because she managed to take this song in a direction that I never really even thought of before and made it into something that I really felt was sincere, heartfelt, and really, really well thought out on her part in terms of just like having the self-awareness of how she as the singer saying these words would come across. That's not something you see often with covers when people switch up the words in order to kind of change the complete feeling and perception of the person covering it in their song. That's a different artistic way of thinking that I don't think I've seen before. So shout out to her. I thought that this was lovely. I really enjoyed that one start to finish. All right, you all. Thank you for watching my reaction to Angelina Jordan singing Suspicious Minds. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did, and keep leaving me your suggestions down below. I really appreciate all that. And of course, if you found anything that I said to be helpful or insightful or anything like that, please feel free to hit like, comment, subscribe. It genuinely does help and I appreciate it. Thanks.